All right, all right, all right. Hey, hello, everybody. It's the four Beardsmen. Well, I mean, really, it's the three Beardsmen right now because JL could not get out of his seance yet. So we're still waiting for JL to, I guess he's got to finish his Sunday Mass, and then he'll join us later, I'm assuming. But with me are my awesome pals, PhD Tony and Irish Demon. How are you gentlemen doing today?
I am very well, thank you, sir.
Stupendous.
It is an interesting, I guess you guys are in Sunday evening. It's an interesting Sunday morning for us over here in the old States.
Why so? What have I missed?
Well, we have just, our Senate had finally pulled their fingers out of their assholes and finally passed the stimulus bill for us. Yet it still has to go back. It still has to go back to the House, and then after it goes to the House, it goes to Biden. So everybody's in this like, I'm about to get a whole bunch of money limbo type thing, and some people are starting to get tax returns, and some people are waiting for it's just it's just weird. It feels like it's a weird energy out here. I think it's because JL's been doing too much ghost hunting.
Yes, the ghost of oh shit. Oh well, that's that gone forever. Whatever I just dropped. The ghost of financial years past, I think.
I think so.
It's pretty crazy. So actually, talking about news from your neck of the woods, so I understand your governor made some decisions this week.
That guy's a dumb shit. I not that I want anything bad to happen to him because he's already a cripple. But fuck that guy. That guy's just he's a jackass.
So, Demon, are you familiar with Tony Abbott?
I am. Yeah, Tony Abbott, the ex-prime minister and firefighter, right?
No, it could be. He's a lot of things. Yeah. Douchebag is probably the biggest, but
yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. I think he was already out of office when I came here.
Right.
I believe so, but yeah, isn't he ultra conservative? That guy.
Yes, he is ultra conservative.
Yeah, he was. I know he was a massive proponent of stopping anything to do with legalization of cannabis and psychedelics and same-sex marriage and basically everything that you could possibly oppose that would, give people some happiness in their lives. Yeah.
Or fever dreams, one of the two.
Yeah. Fucking A. Yep. So yeah, your guy's Greg Abbott, right?
Yes. Greg Abbott, also known as fucking moron.
So I've been dying to know, right? What's the word on the street? Are people for the most part still wearing masks now, or what's the situation?
So the mask mandate doesn't officially end until the 10th, which is 3 days from today. But people are already starting to push the envelope. I've had people come into the shops without masks, and I have to remind them, first and foremost, just because the governor ended the mask mandate doesn't mean I'm not going to still require you to wear a mask to come into my shop.
Damn right.
All the schools over here, they defer to the Texas Education Association to pull the trigger on whether or not the schools were going to have mask mandates, and the school is going to continue with mask mandate and social distancing.
Okay.
Good. Let's see what else. Most shops around here are still going with masks, but as we have seen, Texas seems to be a Karen capital, and I work at probably the most Karen of Karen areas. So yeah, this is just going to be
it's going to be a shitstorm.
Yes, it already is. I mean, it was already a shitstorm. Now it's just
walls. Well, now people are more emboldened, right? They're more emboldened to go, well, the governor says I don't have to wear one, so blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And that's the problem.
To which I tell those assholes, well, the governor doesn't fucking run this shop, does he?
Precisely.
So, you also can say that the governor really doesn't have the power to say you can come in here and kill me. So,
exactly.
He may think he has that ability, but really he doesn't.
No.
In the chat, it has been suggested, Irish, that you have been working on a grand strategy to give COVID diabetes.
Hey, look, it could work.
It could work.
Like in in Parks and Recreation, the first case of mega diabetes. I thought that's my favorite show now. By the way, I fucking love that show.
Parks and Rec. Nick Offerman.
You like it?
Yes, Nick Offerman is just a legend.
He makes it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's just incredible. I love. We watch it every single day. He's just amazing. Like I have to say my favorite part. I've watched almost every episode, I think. But I was rewatching a few of them because Jen was out all day, and I didn't want to go on without her or whatever. But the one where he goes to the diner and he says, he goes, "This isn't a steak. Why would you call this a steak?" And he's like, "Give me all the bacon and eggs you've got." And then when he's walking away, he's like, wait, come back. "I fear that what you heard was, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs." Or when he orders a number 8, he goes, "Sir, that's a party platter for 8. I know what I'm about, son." Oh, I just love that character. And I actually really like Nick Offerman as a person anyway. He's it's really funny when you watch him talk. He is literally just the same guy. He's an actual woodworker, and he's an awesome character. He's a really cool guy.
I like the fact that
I love that character.
His character is like this uber conservative, and he is anything but.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, it's great.
He is a walking caricature of a conservative, what people think conservatives are.
Well, what people think they are. I mean, he is. I know in the show he refers to himself a lot as a libertarian, and he does a lot of stuff like going off the grid and avoiding putting his name on anything. Like when he goes to the hospital and he fills out the form, and then she looks at it and it's all black lines. He goes, "You've redacted everything." And then like they were like date of birth, springtime. And then sexual activity, sexual history, epic and private.
That's great.
Oh man, he's amazing. Like another part that came up yesterday is when he gets his girlfriend pregnant. She was like, "I don't know how that could happen. I've been using birth control and condoms." And then he's like, "I've already warned you that birth control and condoms are no match for a Swanson." Oh, it's just such a great show.
That's kind of close to home because my after the third child in my family was born, my mum went on the pill, and she got pregnant again.
With Tony?
And no, I was the first. I am. It will surprise no one that I am the oldest child in my family. So then she had her tubes tied, and then she got pregnant again. It turned out that the surgeon hadn't really applied the tubes. I have to say, I feel like my dad was a bit of a douche there in the sense that he could have, it's a lot easier to get a snip. As it was, my mum went out and had a hysterectomy in order to...
Here in the States, it is a lot easier to get a snip, but here in the States, insurance companies don't pay for it. They'll pay for a tubal ligation, which my wife and I found out, but they won't pay for a vasectomy. How fucked up is that?
Really?
Yeah.
That is fucked up.
That is fucked up.
Because a vasectomy is vastly cheaper. It's outpatient. You're in and out for like maybe an hour.
Yep.
Whereas a tubal ligation requires anesthesia.
It's
crazy.
Yep. So there's from I happen to know actually in Australia that if you've got health insurance and you go through a hospital, it's about $400 or whatever. But even without, it's still $400. You just don't go to a hospital.
Yeah.
You just you go out to the bush and find the nearest saltwater crocodiles and kick them in.
No, that would be a strategy, but I don't see how that costs you $400.
I figured that would cover the emergency room visit afterwards.
I could do. Those are free. Socialized medicine. So the no, the you do it in it's at the GP's office, and the insurance isn't as good. That's it.
I got you. That sucks.
I'm sorry. I've looked up Ron Swanson quotes, and I can't just not read. They're just. I mean,
they are quite brilliant.
They're remarkable. Like, they would never half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing. Or, I love when he punches the other guy in the face, and they're in court. And he's like, "Do you have any statement to make?" And he just goes up and says, "I regret nothing." The end. Keep your tears in your eyes where they belong, son.
J.L. Warren has finally joined us, though I don't think he's going to be very vocal.
Well, yeah. But his efforts have been successful. His hunting does seem to have borne some. I don't know if either of you have seen the movie Ghost Story.
I don't think so.
Which is a form of I went to see because I thought, that might be an interesting movie, and how wrong I fucking was.
All right, tell us about
because it's Jake Gyllenhaal, I think, or some famous actor is playing the lead role, and he dies fairly early on, and he turns into a ghost. And turning into a ghost, he has a sheet over him with black eye holes in it, cut more or less like that. And he goes back to his home, and he watches Rooney Mara, and then he goes on an entire circuit all the way through time, and he comes back up, and you're just going, it's so he can't say anything from there. So he just spends the entire movie watching as other people explain what the fucking point of this movie is, or loosely attempt to, and fail abysmally. I was the only person in the cinema, and I turned on my phone so I could play Go.
That's funny.
It's a terrible movie. Don't go see it. And yes.
You know what's another terrible movie that I was so disappointed with? So one of my favorite of movies of all time, hands down in my top 5, is Coming to America.
I've heard.
It is without a doubt one of my absolute favorite movies.
It's a great film.
But the sequel, oh my fuck, was it bad, man?
That's what I've heard. Everybody who said Coming to America was terrible.
It was awful. It was so bad. They had these random dance numbers that made no sense. Like in the original movie, they had that epic dance number where they introduced his soon-to-be wife.
Yeah.
And then they had a really cool dance number at the end, and that was it. And the storyline just sucked. Leslie Jones was pretty funny in it, and that was about it. The daughters were a little bit irritating. Who else was in it? Yeah, Arsenio Hall was just awesome. Yeah, I thought he was really great. But yeah, the whole thing was just confusing. It made no sense. The movie was like, this is just the same shit rehashed. I would have much preferred if it was more based in New York. That would have been epic.
Right.
But yeah, it just wasn't a good movie. I was super disappointed. I wanted to love it. And I remember sitting there and looking at it and thinking, that was $60 million fucking dollars that movie cost. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't fucking believe it.
So,
we actually turned it off with like 40 minutes left to run. We were like, I'm not watching this shit. It was irritating. And it got all political and stuff at points. I'm like, oh, fuck this. I don't want to hear actors and stuff telling us what we should think and fucking politics and all that. It's like, just do the movie. Just make it entertaining. Like, fuck, man. People need a break from everything. And yeah, I was disappointed for anybody who loved the original. you're not going to like that movie.
So I heard early on, like, this has been in the talks for at least 5 years. I mean, like, serious talks. They've been talking about doing a sequel to it forever. But the last 5 years, they were in serious talks. It was in serious production. And the word around the campfire was that Kevin Hart was supposed to play his son.
That would have been funny.
And the idea was he was heir to the throne or some bullshit because of some one night stand shit that you never saw in the original film.
Correct.
And they had to go find him. But it was supposed to be all in, the majority in Queens.
Yeah, and that would have been much better, in my opinion. I would have thought that would have been a better option. Because that's what made the first movie so funny, was that you had these two characters completely out of their depth. But having two American characters out of their depth in Africa just didn't work the same way, because there wasn't as much interaction with everyday people, which I think is what made the original really, really funny. The scene that I did really like was that the barbers didn't change at all. They're still the exact same.
Yeah.
And that was really funny. That was it was nostalgic, and it was pretty funny that they were like identical to how they were in the original movie. But yeah, man, that was a rough movie to sit through. Yeah, I think there was probably 40 minutes left. I was like, fuck this, I'm switching this off. It's so shit. And I'm happy I did. It sucked.
It's terrible. I've heard so many bad things about it. I might sit and watch it one day. We'll see what happens.
It'd be worth watching it just to know. But yeah,
that's on HBO.
Darrell
right?
says it's on. I know it's on Is it Disney? I'm just trying to think what ones we have. Where's it on Netflix? Oh no, it's Amazon Prime. Let me see here. What is it? Oh yeah, Darrell M says fishing relaxes me. It's like yoga, except you still get to kill something. The other fish quote that I love from Ron Swanson is his what's it, the pyramid of manliness or pyramid of greatness or whatever, and he's like fishing for sport, not for meat. Fish meat is basically a vegetable.
Any dog that weighs less than 50 pounds is basically a cat, and cats are pointless.
Cats are useless. Yeah, pointless. Yeah. Oh man, it's just I love that. He's just
Well, I think you should follow Jessica's advice.
Oh, what's that?
Do not get upset.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, that's about as bad as you. I'm disappointed in Jessica for that. Where is she? I don't see her in the.
So she's under the name Soma.
There we go.
If you pay attention to the icons, they're the same. So yeah.
If you pay attention to the scathing insults, they're the same.
That could actually
be a good way to.
I just realized as well, we need to set up a Discord for a Beardsman Discord. We've been doing this shit long enough.
No, that's entirely true too. Somebody with some technical competence should say it. That
would be good, Johnny O.
Yeah, I guess we should find that person.
I bet we should.
So yes, WebBard says that people should not say what they believe. This could be a short show if we're going down that route. It's a
WebBard says looks like Irish Demon's favorite character in TV movies is a caricature of conservative. He's not a conservative though, Ron Swanson. Well, actually, I think. I would kind of say he's a traditional conservative, like the old school, I'm a man and I eat meat and I've got weapons and, that kind of conservative, not the kind of conservative that people automatically think of when they hear the term conservative. I feel like Ron Swanson's the kind of character that if you asked him about like gay marriage, he would like, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. You know what I mean? That old school, that kind of like, I don't give a fuck, just leave me alone.
Yeah, I think Ron Swanson is actually, as a character, I think he's sort of a somewhat less deranged libertarian, but he's along that spectrum.
Yeah.
And he's, and I feel again like the term, I've said this a lot, I feel like the term conservative has morphed over time to mean something that I don't think it should.
That's absolutely, I agree with you. What's that called? The Overton window has shifted and been morphed.
Right. It just seems like, there's it's throughout the news today there was talk about the moderate Democrats. They're not moderate Democrats. They're basically pseudo Republicans.
Right.
Like Tim Manchin. They're right wing. The vast majority of the Democratic Party is actually right of center. And if we were living in sort of a what I consider to be a healthy society, we'd be having a discussion about the right wing bias in all of politics. American politics seems to have just taken off for the right, as far as I can tell.
But sorry, Tony, go on.
And so it's but at the same time, the term conservative, I feel like a lot of Democrats are actually conservatives, but that term is now being basically used to refer to some deranged far right parody of what conservatism used to refer to.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is you've got your kind of hardline Republican Party conservatives, and then you have your Trump conservatives, which are like a totally different beast altogether. And you've got your more kind of to the center of that level of conservatism. Well, and then you have the super far right, which obviously is
like
the crazy extreme far right.
It's like you look at it, and if you're an outside looking in on the American political spectrum, you think that there's two types of people: somebody who wants to give everything to everybody, and somebody who wants to take everything from everybody. Right? But that's not the case. There are so many. I mean, there are far more people in the middle of the political spectrum that are a little bit conservative on some things and a little bit liberal on other things. That's the vast majority of people. Now, unfortunately, with our two-party system, we have this. We have people that say, "Well, I only vote one. I only vote one issue," and that's a problem. People talk about it's okay to be a one-issue voter, and it really isn't, because if your one issue is packaged in with something that's completely fucked up, then that's a problem. So we got a lot of people that are one-issue voters, and a lot of people that they teeter. Some could sometimes they could vote Republican, sometimes they'll vote conservative, or they'll vote Democrat. And we also have the issue where we have to identify as what political party we associate with. Like I'm not allowed to vote in the Republican primaries.
Yeah,
which is
and
stupid.
I feel like that's actually a weakness in the American system, in that you choose a party when you register to vote. I don't see how the organization of political parties is inherent in registering to vote. The government shouldn't have anything to say about who can vote in which party. Party membership is an issue for the individual and the party. So I don't, it just seems like you're building in a weakness there.
Right. I agree.
Oh, glad we've sorted that out.
This is some new use of the term sorted. I mean, I was ignorant of the fact that as soon as we moved to the Beardsmen channel, our opinions would instantly be implemented as policy in the US. That was a step that actually evaded me.
You missed the memo.
I missed the memo. My goodness.
Can I ask a very serious question? And this is a really important question. Can anybody tell me what actually is kombucha? Because I bought some and I drank some, and it is not what I thought it was. I thought it was the same as Switchel, which I love. This is not it, and I don't know what to make of it. It's a bit weird. Anybody able to give me a background on what it actually is? Because it tastes like underboob and paint.
I have no idea what it is. So.
I thought it was apple cider vinegar based, because that's what Switchel is. I love Switchel. I gotta say, right? It sounds like a weird thing, an apple cider vinegar drink.
It sounds kind of gross.
But when I worked in, like, when it was like 45 degrees a couple of weeks back, and I bought this stuff, Toa hemp infused peach and ginger Switchel, I was like, fuck, I don't want that shit. Like, but it was all they had that was cold in the cafe. And I was like, just give it to me. It's cold. It's super hot outside. Holy crap. It is amazing when it's really, really, really hot outside and the drink's cold. It's one of the most, what's the word? Thirst quenching drinks you can have. Like, it's super nice. But this shit, I don't know about this, man.
So Jessica G, in typical Jessica G fashion, says, "Hey, Irish cake hoarder, you sure know how to derail a conversation to talk about food."
That ain't no food. That's paint stripper. I bought it reduced price for $1.12. So I was like, I'll give it a go.
Now you know why it was reduced.
Yes.
Yep.
You get what you pay for.
You sure do. I bought reduced milk a couple of weeks ago because it was all they had in the store, because everybody had a fucking
meltdown.
Everybody went crazy during that whole thing with
he who shall not be named. That shall not be named.
Oh yes, that thing. Yeah, exactly. And so all I could get was like old milk. So I was like, shit, there's only like a day left on this. And Australian milk seems to really, really go off the day it says it's going to. And I was like, shit, what are we going to do here? So what I ended up doing is I had a load of like empty water bottles. And so I just filled them up to like there with milk and put them in the freezer. And so yeah, whenever I needed a cup of tea, I was literally putting milk ice cubes in it instead of milk. It was all, yeah, it worked. It was okay. But yeah, I just thought everybody needed to know that. It was really important. You all knew that.
It is kind of you, because I was concerned about your liquid dietary innovations over the past few weeks. It has been a while.
Since we've had this conversation.
Yeah,
that's right.
I mean, like, we've had similar conversations in the past. I felt it was prudent to return to it at some stage. I was figuring, like, no time like the present to that you guys all know about my liquid intake.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing that we've missed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, while you've been too fucking slack to join in streams.
I have been slack.
Yes, let's use a euphemism. Let's say absent.
Absent.
And we could further say delinquent.
Delinquent. I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that.
Recidivist.
We're getting into the word of the day, toilet paper. Let's do it. So the Owlman, Irish, the Owlman wants to know why you know what paint stripper actually tastes like.
I actually have drunk paint stripper once.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, I call it paint stripper. Some people call it Jack Daniels. It's awful. I've had, actually, funnily enough, the only good bourbons that I've had have been Australian bourbons.
Jack
Australian bourbons.
Jack Daniels is
good.
not bourbon. Jack Daniels is not bourbon. It's Tennessee
I,
whiskey.
whatever.
Jack Daniels is not bourbon. It is not
Whatever.
bourbon.
I don't care what it is. It still tastes like ass. I don't care what kind of ass it is. I'm not going to eat it. Well,
That's like calling Irish whiskey Scotch.
So having been asked, how do you know what paint stripper tastes like? You now go on to say that it tastes like ass. Okay, how do you know what ass tastes like?
Well, that's an easy. We already know the
you
answer
can
to that.
find out
We already
over at my OnlyFans. You can see that for yourself.
Okay.
But no, actually, I did genuinely taste that. I don't. Is paint stripper and paint thinner the same thing?
Kind of. It depends.
Methylated spirits is what it
Yeah,
was.
right. Yeah, it depends. I was gonna say it depends if it's yeah.
You should not drink that because
No.
the methylated aspect of it will damage your optic nerve. That's why it's there.
I wonder if that had anything to do with me having a very severely damaged optic nerve, actually, now that I think of it. Well, no, I know that was actually glaucoma, but I wonder if no, I got glaucoma from when I had meningitis, so it's not that. So yeah,
Okay.
everybody, methylated spirits. No, I'm actually not going to say that just in case YouTube have an issue with it. But it's denatured alcohol. I think
It has had methylated spirits has had methyl alcohol added to it, and methyl alcohol is poisonous. It has
That's the
adverse.
stuff that if you make bad moonshine, that makes you go blind, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I drank some of that. Not much. I just got dared to at a party one time when I was pissed, and I drank just a tiny bit. It burnt like fuck, man. It burnt.
Okay. So this is a salutary lesson, and I feel that as a public service, you should have announced this earlier. For one, had begun to wonder about your medical history and your mental health, and the fact that this is an important part of it. It would have been good to know it earlier because now it all makes sense, and it would have warned people off in the meantime.
I was thinking that how I was able to smell colors after it. But yeah, I was at a house party, and so we were drinking in a shed. So I guess it was a shed party, and yeah, somebody was like, "I dare you drink some of that." I was like, "All right." I think it was, if I remember correctly, I think it was purple in color, so I should have known better. Like nothing natural is purple, right? Except for beets, but there was no beetroot juice. But anyway. So yeah, I drank it, but I was fine, I think.
You
think?
I have seen you be dared to consume a bunch of stuff that you basically shouldn't have, and you should have known a lot better than doing that.
And that wasn't even the bad stuff.
And have you considered, have you ever watched Back to the Future 2, right? About just because somebody dares you to do something, and even might call you a chicken. They might, call you a name. If they might call you a bitch or, or a pussy, or they might say that, your balls haven't dropped. But
what else might they say, PhD Tony?
Yeah, no, yeah, he's just laying them on you. Somebody might say something. I want to try the grossest shit in the world. I am actually thinking of Mr. Anthony Riley, who wanted me to go onto some Flat Earth Discord server and talk with him, and I did for like 5 minutes, and then he said, then I've told the story before. He said, I'm going to talk and you will listen. At which point I just left the server. Like, no, I don't have to listen to you because you're a waste of time.
Yep.
Fuck off. And then he wrote letters saying, come back and talk to me. Or if you want to stop being a pussy, or if you want to show if you've got the balls for it. We're going, you know what, mate? calling me names isn't going to fucking convince me to come back. I made a decision, and your name calling isn't actually going to impact that decision. I don't care if you think I've got no balls. I don't care if you think I'm a bitch, because you're a flat earther, right? Your opinion literally could not matter less at this point. And even if he wasn't a flat earther, actually calling me names doesn't impact my decision making. Calling me a Trekkie when I'm not, however, that does. I feel there has been a campaign during the week that I am a closet Trekkie.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because we were supposed to ask Clive Wells if he could we're calling him out. We're calling you out, Clive. Now,
right.
It was brought to our attention by not PhD Tony that you, of all people, can mathematically and theoretically describe how a warp drive would work.
That was not what I said. I forget who it was that I was in discussion with, but there are certainly some people in the flat Earth community who have detailed understandings of the mechanisms by which Star Trek warp drives purport to work. And they started getting into a description of them and a discussion of the different styles of warp drive that there were, et cetera, and I'm just going, wow, I didn't even know that this sort of crap was documented, and now that I do know, I really don't fucking care. And this is why I hesitate. I am really not the Alien X Gaming says you're a eunuch. Well, if you're going to use that word, learn how to spell it, Alien.
Shots fired.
Wow.
But
I just ask you, what's worse, being the guy without the balls or being the guy that spelled it wrong?
I feel like Varys was a great character. I just finished watching the final series of a funny guy. That actor is. I saw him in an Irish crime drama. Something Dublin. The Dublin Murders or something like that. I forget. No, it was, and he was really, really good in it. And with a luxurious head of hair, I might say.
That's so weird.
Despite being quite a bit older than I am, I suspect. Anyway.
I just want to say, I'm going to name drop.
Wait a second.
I'm going to name drop. For fuck's sake.
Name drop. Do your name drop. Fucking do your name drop.
I got a name drop. So I regularly interact on Facebook with one of the cast members of Game of Thrones. So eat that. Somebody that years ago.
The extras don't count.
No, he wasn't an extra. He was. I believe he was a titled character. And he was definitely in one, possibly two episodes. I can't remember exactly. I just want you all to know that makes me cooler than all of you.
Oh, yeah?
And it was Tyrion's jailer.
That makes you cooler than me, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tyrion's jailer, Kieran Birmingham.
I met Metallica, so fuck yourself. So Clive Wells.
I'm not into emo bands.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So, Clive Wells, I have to revoke your Nerd Police badge. Clive Wells says, there is a solution for a warp drive, but it requires negative energy density, which would mean the vacuum would be quantum mechanically unstable.
Well, yes.
Nerd alert.
I'm just waiting for all of the edgy people to ask who or what is Game of Thrones.
So
the edgy people that I've never actually watched that.
Here's the thing. I'm not edgy, but I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones.
Oh, you're so cool.
No, it has nothing to do with cool. It just
yeah. So my issue. So somebody actually brought up the Matt Fours says, PhD Tony, you're not a Trekkie. I am, and I'm proud. Yes, and you should be, because being a Trekkie actually requires technical expertise. My position is that I do not have the technical expertise necessary to be a Trekkie. I don't speak Klingon. I don't understand how their warp drives work. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of who did what in the episodes. Blah blah blah. I just don't have. I feel like if I claimed to be a Trekkie, I would, if I agreed with people calling me a Trekkie, I would be an intellectual fraud, because I'm not. I just don't know enough about Trekkieism.
I think you speak better Klingon than you let on.
I speak no Klingon. Jessica G has also never watched an episode of Game of Thrones, and you know what? I have to say, if you don't, I enjoyed Game of Thrones. I even enjoyed the last season of it. I don't know why people would complain. Obviously, they only had a handful of episodes in order to wrap everything up, and it would have been better if they'd had more time to do it in.
Yeah.
As it was, a lot of stuff was very, very rushed. But I really enjoyed it. But then again, I like a lot of stuff that, most people don't. I hate a lot of stuff that other people really love. I think that Lord of the Rings as a series of books is a piece of crap. Like, I really dislike Lord of the Rings. Read it once, never going to read it again. And the movies did the best that they could. But let's face it, it's fucking boring. Jesus Christ. 60 I tried starting to read it 3 times, and I got 60 pages in, and we're not even past the fucking birthday yet.
Yes.
Right, how the hell, for heaven's sake, is anything going to happen in this stupid book?
Yes.
Or is this just going to be
I could not agree with you more. I got so fucking tired. Why do we need 6 pages to tell me about the dew on the leaves of the grass?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Fucking hell, get to the goddamn point. You're a fantasy writer. Stop writing about bullshit that nobody fucking cares about.
I can confirm, by the way, that kombucha tastes better coming out than it does going in.
Oh.
okay.
All right.
Don't ask me how I know. It's a little thing that I like to call accidental splashback.
Okay. So,
never pee near a fan.
Never pee near a fan.
Oh wow, Matt Paws is so disappointed with me because it's one of his favorite books. Okay, this is actually my point. If Lord of the Rings works for you, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. What I'm going to tell you is that I didn't like it, and I'm not trying to dictate anything to anybody here. There's stuff that I like that that other people hate. Even people I quite like. I've recommended books to them, and they go, "That is absolute crap. This guy cannot write to save himself." And I accept everybody has their own view. So Tom Bombadil. Don't get me started. Jessica G. Tom Bombadil. Words fail me. There's just so much that is idiotic. And I thought actually the movies were actually really good in the sense that they basically trimmed down the story to the point that that they sort of got a lot of entertaining stuff. Anyway,
I would rather read Frank Herbert. What is this? Or Robert Jordan, says Daryl M.
Okay, Frank Herbert. I read all of the Dune series. I was given the entire Dune collection.
That's quite an undertaking.
Yes, I haven't read any of the modern novels written by his son. Anyway, but yeah, there are like 10 of them.
Yeah,
and they're quite good. And the only good ones There are two good books in that entire series, and that's the first one and the last one. Chapter House June, I quite enjoyed, and June is quite a good book. But in between, you're better off not going there.
I'm really interested in the movie that's coming out.
It will. Well, they can make good movies out of bad stuff, or they can make crap movies out of good stuff. So
yeah.
it will be interesting.
Yep, kind of curious.
Let's take a moment to greet everybody who's in our chat, shall we? I've mentioned Matt Fours, Sir Little Wolf, who also Sir Little Wolf self-identifies as a Trekkie.
Between a Trekkie and a Trekker, because I've heard there's a difference.
Well, you're asking the wrong person. Like I would know.
Better look that up.
Yes, Clive Wells is spreading vile. Clive Wells is in the chat, as we have referenced, and spreading vile calumnies. Ayn Rand was a demented bitch. Daniel Pratt's water heater, our man. Good. Hello to you all. Daryl M, Dr. Osiris, Demon Orb, Web Bard. Mike M, you're in the chat, Johnny, but I can say hello to you here, so there's no point in that. Shane Summer, / Jessica G. Those who haven't gone to check out Jessica G's gaming channel, it's great. A lot of time there, a disproportionate amount of time is dedicated to trying to make the case that I am a Trekkie. So that is a bit of a downside, but we put up with it. Jim Bobley, who I don't know. I've never seen Jim Bobley before. So greetings to you, sir. I'm sure you brought him here, Irish, because he's one of yours. Almost.
Oh, he is? Good to see
well, you've got thousands and thousands of subscribers. So
I know. I'm actually that leads me to another conversation to have in a minute when this fascinating situation's over. Oh, I guess we got to wait for Johnny O to come back because he's going to be running it. So
you're about to announce some exciting social opportunity to celebrate your most recent landmark in thousands and thousands of subscribers. Okay.
Pretty much. So I am nearly, let me tell you where I'm at right now. So I was supposed to have a 4,000 subscriber special, but I didn't because I was busy and stuff. But it's coming up now on 5,000, so 4,611. So when we get to 5,000, there's a vote going on right now on my channel. You can check out. Just going to see where the voting's at. So basically, I did 4 rounds of voting. So there was 4 options in each round, and basically it was to decide what tattoo I would be getting live on the air for charity. And so let's have a look. I'm just going to find what the because I can't actually remember exactly what the last. So the 4 winners of the 4 different votes was the Irish Demon logo, a cartoon space shuttle, the Illuminati symbol, so like the all-seeing eye or whatever, and my horn hat on a globe. So far, there's 458 votes on that one. In last place so far is horn hat on a globe, followed by Irish Demon logo, followed by cartoon space shuttle, and in the lead of 40% is the Illuminati symbol. So it looks like I'll be getting that tattooed on me somewhere for charity in hopefully, I'm going to say maybe 2 weeks' time. So maybe I'm just trying to work out the timing. It'll probably be Saturday night US time or Friday night US time. Saturday morning is straight time.
So
and it'll be for a mental health charity. I haven't decided which one yet.
So you say you didn't have a 4,000 subscriber special. But I sort of remember that you kind of did, right? You did have
I had something, but it wasn't what I wanted to be my actual 4,000 subscriber special. So it started off. Allow me to explain. So I had planned to have a proper one in the next few days or whatever the case may be, and so I have the video titled 4,000 subscribers now because I didn't have a 4,000 subscriber special. So I had that stream to try to arrange a 4,000 subscriber special, and then I just never got around to it, basically. So it wasn't officially. If you go back, smart asses in the chat, you'll see it says 4,000 subscribers, because I was letting you guys know, because I woke up that morning, I was super excited. I'm very excited. And then I was like, I'm going to have a special. And then I never did, because
so
busy shit came up.
So...
but I will have a 5,000 subscribers.
So having skipped innumerable 4Beardsmen broadcasts and half-assed a 4,000 subscriber special, I am somewhat disappointed that the phrase "slack-ass piece of shit" was not one of the tattoo options.
Yeah. I will say this, right? I have had some requests for tattoos that were still awesome, don't get me wrong, but definitely nothing that I would let up to the vote for you people, because I know I'd end up with something stupid on me. So somebody said that I should get Pikachu tattooed on my unit.
Not enough space.
There we go. That was exactly what I was going to say. Another person said, actually, a lot of it was penis tattoos. Somebody said they genuinely said they would give me $1,000 if I got their name tattooed on the underside of my penis. And it's healing up really nicely. So, but yeah. So anyway, Johnny O's back. So I guess So the 5,000 subscriber special, the way I envisage it now, I've got an awesome.
Wait, what was that word? What was that word you said?
He said envisage.
Envisage. Okay, cool. Making sure I'm not having a stroke.
Why? What did you think I said?
I thought you were trying to speak English, but apparently not.
Oh, what was I meant to say?
Envisioned?
No, envisage.
Very good. Fine.
I'm looking this up. No, fuck you. I'm looking.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine. Go with it.
No. I'm fucking looking this up. I want to make sure I'm right for you, my fucking English teacher. Yeah, hold on a second. Allow me. Envisage, verb, to contemplate or conceive as a possibility, a desirable future event. And the other translation is eat my ass.
So the
fair enough.
So,
no, it's cool.
Okay. The lack of professionalism here is astonishing. I was going to announce that this is Dictionary Corner, the 4Beardsmen.
Yep.
Those, we have a lot of people who tune in precisely so that we can read up on new words and read out the definitions. It's many people are here because it's the most exciting element of our broadcasts. And so I wanted to build up. I wanted to ramp it up. I wanted to make the announcement, and you just leapt in there without any build up, without any planning. And well, it's not your fault, Johnny. It was Irish. We were there. You gave us the lead in, and I was going to ramp it up. I was going to provide and give the sponsors a shout out. And Irish just
shat on it
all over.
Just blew his load.
All over that shit.
All over it. But it's still awesome.
Okay.
Speaking of foreseeing and foretelling things, everybody welcome JL Warren to the show.
Morning.
More like afternoon,
Hello,
afternoon.
JL.
You know who's counting.
Hello, Pastor Warren.
You know, it's funny
No,
you mentioned
it's
that
Father
because
Warren. It's Father Warren.
How did you get your collar off so quickly?
It's funny you say that because I actually
That's the altar boy.
There's a church right by where I get my morning wake up juice.
Your morning cup of Jesus.
He didn't want. He noticed how he didn't want to say morning monster.
Oh yeah, I mean, I drink my morning monster, and
he didn't want to say he went to the place next to the church to get his morning monster.
There is a church right near it, and there's no one there.
Because you scared him.
Oh, really?
So I just happened to know that I was like, because I was like, I got to go and get my wake up juice. So I was running over there real quick, and there happens to be a big ass Baptist church that's right across the street from it. I was like, what? And normally it's packed, and I was like, well, there's not a soul there. There's no one there.
Hold up.
Not a single car in the parking lot. So
hold up. I gotta just back up and call you out one thing. You didn't fucking run anywhere. That's why he didn't go to the church, because there wasn't a soul in there.
Wait a minute. Well, you of all people are gonna make a running joke.
I'll run all the time.
Yeah, to the fridge.
Okay. Hang on. I'm not even gonna go there.
I actually like that somebody who is being mocked over, his religious / ghost hunting propensities, says there wasn't a soul there.
Yes,
really.
I know.
Yes.
You have soul sight now. Is that that's your claim?
That's why he didn't go there, because there was no souls for him to hunt.
So, what's the topic of conversation today?
You being a ghost hunter.
No, it was actually me being a Trekkie earlier, but we've moved on to Irish demons. We've
tattoo penis.
You just missed our the much anticipated reading of the dictionary section of our emphasis on the dick Irish section of the show.
I was right. That's all that matters.
And Demon is now going to gloat about how many subscribers he's got and all the plans for his 5K.
If I don't die, holy shit.
Take it away, Demon.
So the plan is that we're going to do a stream for charity where I am. So Johnny O hopefully will be able to run it. And I'm going to go to the tattoo parlor, call in on Skype live on the air, and show you guys me getting the tattoo for charity. So I need people to come up with some ideas for what charities to go for. I decided I'd like to do it for a mental health charity, if that suits everybody. So if anybody knows of any good mental health charities, then definitely let me know.
I will tell you the one that eventually I'm going to have to work with after all of the bullshit you guys give me.
Catholics Anonymous.
Ghost Hunters Anonymous.
And
are you going to tell us, or?
Yeah, right. We're waiting over here.
We're fucking dying to find out what this is going to be like.
That's bad Irish, bad form.
What? What did I do?
We're dying. Never mind. We're dying to find out.
Oh shit! Yeah,
I wanted to say a quick hello to Plotholica G, who appeared on screen briefly there.
She did for me to hold this up. That it should be on screen any second now.
Oh, it's cute.
That is really that's really good.
Yep, that's it's one of my mother's dogs.
Her name is.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
nice.
That's awesome.
She was really excited. She painted it last night.
Yeah, well, that's really good.
Great.
That's very impressive. I speaking as someone who has never had any artistic ability whatsoever, I am in awe because I can't do anything that actually looks like a real object.
Tony can't even draw the curtains.
That's right.
That's bad.
That's yeah.
I think he's the only one that could actually fail at a paint splash.
Yeah, I
He
tried.
just missed the canvas.
I tried Jackson Pollocking this shit, and it doesn't work. Yeah.
Is this where we've arrived, just resting on the laurels of Irish Demon's jokes?
Oh shit.
Yes.
Well, again, I'm going to call you up on your gullibility and suggestibility, JL. The existence of Irish Demon jokes is a well-known myth with absolutely no substance to it. And if you're going to believe in that sort of thing, you may as well be out hunting Bigfoot at this stage. So
I resent that statement.
Take a look at yourself, JL, if you're going to propagate that sort of crap.
Well, this is JL Ghost Hunter, so
Yeah. How did you enjoy a dark
JL
song?
Akora.
How did you enjoy a dark song, JL?
It was very good. I was impressed. I had not seen a horror film that dealt with I would say the notions of witchcraft and the occult to the intense degree that that one did.
Mm-hmm.
Were you grading its accuracy?
No, I was not grading its accuracy. It's just that the level of detail that went into it, to describing what the two people in the house were trying to pull off. It was extraordinarily intense. Everything. I mean, we're talking everything down, not just symbols on the floor. We're talking symbols on the floor. We're talking particular items using it, particular mentalities going into it, ensuring that a person is in the right psychological space. And, it felt very much like it was written by someone who's been involved in the occult for, 20 plus years, who knows their shit and is very, very serious about it. And I was impressed by the technical detail that went into it. And although I have to admit, and I don't
the Irish Demon, the picture of Irish Demon. That's good too. That's excellent. Yes.
Oh my God, that's so good. I look like I got punched by fucking, I don't know, Muhammad Ali or something, but that's awesome.
The hair is particularly good.
That is epic. I love it. That's brilliant. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty much the Irish Demon of my nightmares. That's what I see when I'm sitting there trying to sleep and I'm hearing, "You're a ghost hunter. You're a ghost hunter."
Find me Lucky
really,
Charms. Sorry,
really. However, if we were a professional organization, that would have been digitized and put up over Irish Demon's camera.
It would have.
That's true. Well, it is.
And it would have. Oh, JL, one of your friends is in the comment section.
Hello, Plotholika G.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay, whoever created that account, you are a fucking legend.
That based on
just won the live chat. You have won the live chat officially. Gold medal. Gold medal.
So, well, that is one of the tactics that actually Clive Wells is known to employ. I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking from experience.
I was all boo, and Jay was all, I see dead people.
Y'all suck.
Oh man!
Great comeback. Well done.
Well, ain't got much when you've been beaten into the fucking ground.
Okay.
Somebody drove through JL's house.
Now, yesterday sucked because I was working on my next video. Actually, my next video series. I was trying to put that together and start sourcing all the clips that I'm going to put into it. And I got a call that a one of our residents had driven into their apartment. And the area that they drove in, it was all screwed up and crazy because the area of the apartment she drove into was actually her son's bedroom.
Whoa!
Oh shit!
And luckily nobody was hurt. She was pretty stupid. I mean, she was pretty dumb because she drove into the apartment. She drove into the bedroom. And then before we could get her to stop, before anybody on site could get her to stop, she basically pulled the vehicle out. And, and we didn't know if she had damaged the building enough that she had hurt the load bearing mechanisms of the wall.
Yeah.
And if she had done that, then the floor above her could have collapsed. But fortunately, that's not what happened. Yeah, fortunately, that's not what happened. We got lucky on that one. And she also got extremely lucky that her son was not in the bedroom because the wall that she hit, his bed was right up alongside that.
Damn.
So
she
was trying to she was trying to back up into her she was basically parking and she was trying to back up into her parking space, and she hit the gas instead of the brake and but jumped the curb, took out the bushes, and basically drove straight through her wall. So
has she ever considered a career in demolition?
Right.
Jeez.
So I got called out for that and had to deal with that. And we basically had to go out there and just make sure that it was somewhat structurally sound. And then the vendors came out and then they dealt with it. So, but yeah, it was insane. I was out there for several hours dealing with that and hearing this woman scream. It was like, I was hitting the brake. My brakes failed, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, this is going to be an insurance nightmare. But,
yep.
Either way, it's so messed up because... And I hate, and I'm, I feel like I'm kind of throwing her under the bus, but this woman owes like $6,000 in rent.
Well, now she owes 40,000.
and she's not, and she's basically being evicted. But once
so y'all motherfuckers are never getting that money.
Well, fortunately, she does have homeowners. She does have renter's insurance. So
does that cover? I don't think that renter's insurance covers the structural.
I'm not sure about the logistics on that, but
I mean, look, you guys, the apartment complex has insurance, so it's going to get paid for, but not by that lady.
And the complex itself does have insurance. So whatever happens, I don't know. I just know that of all the residents this could have happened to, the lady who did it was actually on the out list. That there's no way she's going to be able to pay the money that she owes. Her husband doesn't work. She's out of a job because of the whole thing, and she's been furloughed like for the past 6 months or something like that. So yeah, it's all come down, and I guess she was just like, fuck this apartment. She just drove into it. I have no idea.
I said I wanted a garage.
Oh great, now I'm a slumlord.
No, JL's not the Lord. He's the guy who fixes the Lord's property.
Yeah,
JL just rocked up. He rocked up with like all of his goons when it happened. He's like, "Hope you like camping."
JL's the guy that walks up and says, "Hey, this might be a bad time to tell you, but you owe me rent."
Yeah.
I'm more like the guy that walked up and looked into it and then looked in the apartment and saw someone standing and says, "Hey, you got a hole in your wall."
I don't know if I can patch that one.
He's got an ensuite Oldsmobile.
All right, well, PSG 20.
We were going. Well, I say we. Irish Demon was going to continue gloating about how many subscribers he has and announcing his celebratory wank fest.
Yes, and I kept purposely derailing the conversation.
Oh, well, you can all eat me, first of all.
I don't have this.
But yeah,
there's not enough room in my freezer.
God, it took you a while to get there.
Well, you won't shut the fuck up.
Ooh.
I'm just like,
yes,
I'm like,
Irish,
screw you guys.
Yes, Irish, we know how many subs you have. Yes, Irish, we know what your plans are. Yes, Irish.
Don't worry, Irish. We got your goblet on the way.
My what?
Your goblet.
Oh yeah, where is my goblet?
In your pants? In your pants?
No, not the
goblin. That's the goblin.
Yeah, not the goblin. Yeah.
I need to get a goblet, actually. Hey, woman, where's my goblet? Actually, I only say that because I know she's got headphones on and she would thrash me.
One of these days, you know, you're gonna pull that shit, and she's like going to the bathroom without her headphones.
It wouldn't be the first time that's happened, actually.
And then all of a sudden, we're gonna see like this fucking, I don't know, giant
She just
flash.
boot the door down. Boom.
Fire will come out of her eyeballs and pierce your soul.
Tony, no one has ever seen Irish and a donut in the same frame for more than a fraction of a second. It's true.
That must be some different PhD, Tony, who said
You know the thing
such,
is, though,
such an unkind thing.
the funny thing is, I don't even really like donuts. It's just an assumption that everybody's made. I mean, I'll eat a donut, obviously. But I mean, I'm not gonna not eat it. Like, don't get me wrong. But all right. So the only donuts I was ever exposed to when I was younger is just regular donuts with sugar on it, just plain donut with sugar. Then I moved to Australia. I bought a donut once when I was having a cup of coffee, and I was kind of on a diet, and I got a 6-pack of donuts, and I started. And it was cinnamon sugar on it. And I was like, ugh, can I get this without cinnamon sugar? They're like, no, we only do cinnamon sugar. I'm like, dude, that's not cool. And then I discovered donuts with hot chocolate sauce, which is frankly amazing.
Like you judge the quality of the donuts.
Right.
The donut, it sucked. Fucking cinnamon sugar on it. And then I discovered Krispy Kreme, and I was like, nah. That's just too much. It's too sweet, too much shit on it.
Yeah, I can't do. Oh.
You hear about that? I'll wait till you come to America and you have yourself a burger with Krispy Kremes as the bun.
Oh, it's bad. Next thing
I will
you
definitely have to try that though.
That's
just
well. So what I was going to say
diabetes.
Yeah, right. So the next thing it'll be a fried burger with Krispy Kreme that you get at the state fair because they fucking fry everything.
Yeah.
Or in Scotland they have fried Mars bars.
Here at the Texas State Fair we have fried Coca-Cola.
Fried
I'm
everything.
not sure.
How does that work?
So it's the syrup. Somehow they freeze and batter the syrup and then drop it in.
I'm looking this up right now. Yep, I would try that.
Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, so it's just a donut ball made with Coca-Cola.
Pretty much.
Because I think if you just poured Coke into a deep fryer, you might have an explosion of some description.
You might. Yeah.
You don't use the carbonation.
It's a possibility.
You don't use the carbonation. You just use the syrup.
Yes. So, but the idea of you don't like donuts, but of course you eat them. Like,
I will eat them.
Okay, well that's.
I also don't like water, but I drink it. You know what I mean? The donut's purely for sustenance.
Right.
It's a health food. It's a superfood.
It's a superfood.
You see,
we'll have to take Irish.
Here's this thing: if I don't like something, I don't do it.
I don't like water.
There's
so many. If I don't do water, I do. If I don't do water, I do die.
There are so many bad jokes PhD Tony just opened himself up to that I'm having a difficult.
I'm thinking that too.
I'm having a difficult time picking just
There's so
one.
many. There's so many that it's like it's too much. It's just all flashing before my eyes.
Exactly. It's an overload. It's bad joke.
We're gonna
overload.
Will we give him a pass on this one?
I'm giving him a pass.
We'll have to take Irish Demon to the Heart Attack Grill.
That's any old. You got to be more specific.
It's in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you ever heard of it? Have you ever heard of it?
I think I've seen the video of people doing like food fucking eating competitions there and stuff.
Well,
they have that optical bypass thing.
Yes,
but the problem there is I can only eat so little that it'd be wasted on me. That's the problem. I can only eat about a cup of food at a time.
They have all you can eat flatliner fries, which are fried in pure lard.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And that is the best way to have fries. Like, they do taste amazing. When we had our chip vans back in the day, we used to do burgers and chips, and we always used pure lard, and it just tasted so good. Too good, like, hence This
They
sexual
also
machine you see here.
They also serve butterfat milkshakes and
Oh
soft
my
drinks
goodness.
such as Mexican Coca-Cola that's made with cane sugar. And
Oh, it's the best.
customers can also order unfiltered cigarettes.
Nice. That's
So
fucking
basically,
awesome.
if you want to die of some sort of self-inflicted food or poison, that's the place to go.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is the thing that gets me. So, how many American citizens did ISIS kill?
7.
Don't know.
That was a switch.
It was a bit of a curveball.
I know where he's going. I know where
of-
he's going, though. I know where he's going. So,
So-
like, the answer to your
so-
question, I think, is 7.
You're right. So, and everybody was up in arms. ISIS has to be brought down. How many people how many American citizens are killed by tobacco companies or donut companies or people who sell processed sugar? How many Americans? But that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm with you on this one.
So if ISIS had actually just started a donut company, they'd have killed more Americans, and it would all have been perfectly fine. Nobody would have even batted an eyelid.
We would have thanked
it's
them
just
for
a-
it.
more money.
We would have thanked them for it.
It's just a strange thing that sort of and similarly when the health insurance executives were up in front of Congress saying, well, we don't enjoy removing health insurance from people who have cancer and are going to die, but we have to do it because we're legally obligated to protect our shareholders.
Right.
And you're going, so you're killing more people than ISIS.
Yep.
And that's apparently okay. It's
Look, the only people allowed to kill Americans are Americans. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody else kills Americans, we take issue with it. We got a freaking, we have a 9/11 commission. We'll have this commission. We'll have that commission. But no. We get people walking into, fucking elementary schools, just gunning motherfuckers down. 2 thumbs up. We're cool with that.
2 thumbs up.
And it's actually a very common argument as well with the whole war on drugs. And you got to ask yourself, like, I can't. I hear, as I said, I can legally smoke cannabis on the stream if I want to because.
Sorry. Tusk just said that, to my knowledge, Dunkin' Donuts has never flown a strawberry glaze into a skyscraper.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a good point. He's got a good point there.
Neither has ISIS.
That's also a good point. But, same, right?
It was a plane.
Oh, that was a visual that's not going to get out of my head for a while. That was a
What have I gotten myself into? I was going to say a joke, but I know it'll get me in trouble on the stream, like as in from the authorities probably. So I'm not going to actually do it. But it's a very common thing though. Like I can legally smoke weed right now if I want to, but if Jen was to smoke my weed, she could get put away for it. Or if she was to walk down the street with this tub instead of me, she could get in trouble. I couldn't. But then it all comes back to the whole argument about smoking and all the rest of it. If I didn't have my prescription, I couldn't buy cannabis legally, but I could walk down the street and buy enough whiskey to drink.
Yep.
Like the whiskey I've got back there is enough to kill somebody.
Well, here's the reason.
Or I could buy a cheeseburger, which could also kill me.
So here's the reason why. Here's the reason why cigarettes and alcohol are legal, whereas cannabis it's been illegal up until this point. A lot of places are starting to legalize and whatnot. It has everything to do with the
tax.
Well, so yes, tax, because it is very difficult to steal your own liquor without being noticed.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with tobacco. You can't just grow tobacco anywhere. It takes a specific soil and a specific
and a lot of time.
A lot of crop rotation, 7-year cycles and whatnot. It's very cultivated. Weed,
fermenting it.
Exactly.
And all that stuff.
Weed you can grow in your toilet.
Oh yeah.
You can grow that shit anywhere. It's almost impossible to effectively tax.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
So it's money. It's money. Money is why.
That's all money. Yeah.
But you are better off. But you are still better off legalizing it, right?
Yes,
because
absolutely.
I mean, it's not necessarily it's like it is possible, for instance, to grow your own apples and that sort of thing. But people eat so many apples that it's actually quite hard to produce enough of it to sort of keep yourself in supply. Right. So you go down to the supermarket and you buy apples. It's the same with weed, right? I mean,
exactly.
And you're better off bringing this inside the legal economy and taxing it and regulating it, making sure that product quality is decent, as opposed to leaving all of the profits to be made from this to violent criminal organizations who are prepared to kill people,
and the thing is,
in order to keep their profits.
Well,
most of the people who die because of cannabis is because of the illegal importation and the gangs that are involved. I mean, like over here in Australia, there's realistically two types of weed that you can buy. You can buy legal stuff through a doctor. It comes from Canada. It's delicious. It's awesome, and it's consistent. Or you can buy what we call reds, which is the cheap shit that you get on the street that's hydroponically grown and sprayed with artificial THC and other shit that I couldn't even imagine to build up the yield of it. Whereas if they had dispensaries doing proper, good quality cannabis, they could actually make some tax money off it rather than wasting taxpayers' money on the war on drugs, which has fucking failed miserably.
Well, yes.
And they could actually make money. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I hate the fact that they call it the war on drugs, because when you use a word like war, there's an implication that a war can be won and lost. We're never going to win that war. The thing that is very interesting about taxation of marijuana and there are other things that obviously have gotten into the nuance of why marijuana has been illegal for so long in the States. So many different things outside of taxation. Taxation just happened to be the biggest one to keep it illegal for as long as it has. But what California did was show how much money could be made by legalization. When California went to dispensary, went into medical marijuana, then Colorado said, hey, these guys are making a lot of money. People are actually getting prescriptions and they're doing what they're supposed to do to get the legal cannabis. What if we just said, yeah, you can use it as a recreational drug? What kind of industry could we build here in Colorado? Well, it turns out a multi-billion-dollar industry. Colorado legalized in 2012, and I think if I read the numbers correctly, and it's been a while since I read these numbers, but they're still arguing today over the initial tax revenue that they got from that first year of legalization.
I'd heard it was. I'd heard in the first year the takeaway was about $1 billion for the state.
It was ridiculous.
So
yeah.
I just want to make a point. There's because there have been a few comments about the association of marijuana with crime. If you look back at the early days of the gin press, right, basically before the invention of the gin press, you had to spend a lot of money in order to get drunk. And after the invention of the gin press, it actually became really cheap. And if you look at the political dialogue that was going on, and public policy dialogue that was going on at that time, it was exactly the same as the public policy dialogue that we now have about actually heroin. These people are unemployable. They overindulge so much, and there's a lot of violence associated with it. It encourages lawless and irresponsible lawless and criminal behavior, etc., etc. Yeah, but we developed the techniques for regulating its use, and now, even though it is seriously harmful, it does not seem practical to exclude it from the economy. if we're going to allow tobacco and alcohol to be sold, there, certainly marijuana, I don't see that it can be, it can be. I don't see the argument why marijuana use should be illegal if we're allowing tobacco and alcohol. It just doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, there was a lot of talk. It was the cotton industry was fighting against it because hemp is a superior product than cotton, and that the cotton industry had pretty much dominated America for as long as since slave days.
Yep.
And with hemp, you get a far superior product, a longer lasting product, a more comfortable product. And they didn't want that, because if you legalize marijuana, then people are going to be able to jump into the hemp industry. You create a competing industry against cotton, and
right.
They didn't want to shake their They didn't want to lose their stranglehold on the market. So,
yeah. So here's the thing. I still contend that all drugs should be legalized, 100%. Not just decriminalized. I think they should be legalized. Because every country who has done this has seen drastic drops in crime, addiction, taxes, all that stuff. Well, not taxes, but the idea that now we're treating it as a health issue, we're treating addiction as a health issue as opposed to a legal issue. We're starting to see all the numbers that people care about. Crime goes down. If you don't need to operate an illegal cartel, now you can have a legal company. Well, now we don't have to have a whole lot of guns protecting our products, and we don't have to worry about inner city. Well, I mean, not as much. We don't have to worry about inner city violence due to the illegal sales of drugs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's there are clinics at which people can inject, safe injection clinics, that sort of can regulate the use of this and prevent people from attempting to operate vehicles. As has been pointed out in the chat, just because you can use these drugs doesn't mean that you should operate machinery or vehicles.
Oh no, you put the same rules on them you have for alcohol.
Right.
Exactly.
That's pretty much it. Like if I show up to work drunk, I'm gonna get fired. If I show up to work high, I'm gonna get fired.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go home and I smoke weed and I'm good to go, and then I wake up and I go to work and live my normal, just like people go home and will drink or have a bottle of wine or whatever. They wake up in the morning and they go to work. If they just regulate it like alcohol, then it should be fine.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
100%.
All right,
I have somebody.
I have friends who
say a really quick word from.
Hey, Munchkin.
Want to say hi?
Hi. I slept in my own room and bed. Well, I have been sleeping in my own bed, just in my mom's and dad's room, because we moved my mattress in there. But now I slept in my own bed.
Slept in your own bed.
The way to go.
Awesome.
Yep.
She has a very lovely. Is that a dressing gown or?
It's her robe. It's a Ninja Turtle robe. It was her big sister's before, but now she's wearing it because.
That's awesome.
It looks pretty. It looks pretty cool.
It's the Ninja Turtles.
Look really cool.
Want to show them Ninja Turtles? Ninja Turtles.
Too cool.
Leo, Raphael.
They always find the worst time to come and crash the stream. We're over here talking about legalizing drugs and whatnot. Here come a bunch of kids.
He's not on here.
All right, you guys go get some breakfast.
Also, I got my new glasses.
Yes, go eat your breakfast.
Oh, nice.
They look good on you. Now go eat your breakfast. Anyway, yeah. So you were going to say something, Demon. You were going to talk about the legalization of your favorite pastime.
Oh, yeah. So, I know a few people that say, because I'm on a few Facebook groups for patients in Australia. So, in Australia, you can't drive within about 24 hours of smoking cannabis. You can drive within 12 hours of using the oil. So I tend to use the oil instead for the most part because obviously I drive a lot. So, but then I get a lot of people say, "Oh, I actually drive so much better when I'm high," and I'm like, "Dude, that kind of shit is what's going to slow down the full legalization of cannabis. Because all it takes is for your dumbass to get into a car crash and kill somebody, and then it's going to fucking ruin it for everybody else. Treat it like you would alcohol. They're like, yeah, but alcohol's not a medication. I can drive on, painkillers. And I'm like, I get it.
It used to be a medication.
It used to be. But I say to him, I'm like, I get it. You can take fucking really strong painkillers and still legally drive. But the point of the matter isn't that you can do it or you should do it, because it's going to ruin it for everybody else in the long run. So, it's unbelievable. But, some people just ruin it.
Yeah, well, I mean, but we need to accept reality, right? If you're going to make a drug that has the capacity to inebriate the user, then there are going to be people who are going to operate machinery and have accidents while they're inebriated. It's an inevitable consequence,
right?
So when it happens, we need to go, well, it was always going to happen, and we don't throw a gigantic tizzy over it. But you look at the number of people who are currently dying at the moment because they're paying too much for drugs and they can't afford to feed themselves, or they get involved in some violent altercation with their drug dealer or around their drug dealer, or they get into or they overdose on a drug and they don't get any medical attention because nobody wants to call the authorities.
Yes.
There are people dying because drug use is illegal, and we ignore the fact that that's happening. But as soon as we legalize it and people start having traffic accidents, somehow that means that we shouldn't legalize it anymore. Actually, making stuff illegal, I cannot believe that we're still having this conversation. It was tried 100 years ago. It doesn't work.
Well, so I was just about to bring that up. If you take a look at the most recent example of what a prohibition does in the States, when we banned liquor and alcohol sales and said it was illegal, all of a sudden prohibition. What did we see? The birth of the mafia as we know it today.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, what happened when all that stuff was illegal? Well, now we've got deaths on the rise, we've got violent crime on the rise, firearm crime on the rise, organized crime, all this shit. And then we said, you know what, maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe we should just tax it a little more. And then we did that, and they said, oh, okay, cool. Now we saw there was a drastic reduction in crime, a drastic reduction in illegal activity associated with sorry, I got kids over here that are trying to tear stuff up.
No, it's okay.
But we saw drastic reductions in all those things that we saw a huge rise in because there was no more need for it. Now, instead of going to your, corner alcohol deal, you just went to the corner store and bought yourself a pint and went home. No big deal. Nobody batted an eye about it. Now, that's not to say that these things don't come with their share of problems. They do, but we don't treat alcoholism like it's a criminal thing. We treat it as a health issue.
Yep, that's right. Irish. I was about to address Irish, and he's hidden behind his hat.
No, he put his balls on.
I noticed that it's a red hat. I suspect it has MAGA written on the front of it.
I think that would be a safe bet.
That's definitely a MAGA hat. There is a suggestion in the chat that smoking cakes and donuts should be legalized. I'm not sure that that's going to have enough caloric intake to make it worthwhile. I certainly wouldn't. Burning something is takes all of the calories out of it. Just like I take all of the fun out of a conversation as soon as I open my mouth. It's pretty much the same process.
Okay, we have something funny coming. Hang on, go ahead.
We do.
Pooper scooper.
Oh, to be a kid.
Yes.
Oh, to be a child.
Shane Somer, no, I understand that the mafia existed long before America, but the American mafia is today what it is because of the prohibition on liquor. That is a fact.
Yes.
I'm not saying that it didn't exist before. I'm not saying that it didn't exist in America before, but as we know it today, it strengthened in numbers because of the illegal liquor trade.
Yeah. And one of the big ways to defuse these large criminal organizations is by attacking their profit margin, make them compete against people who are doing it legally. They
Right.
can't.
Exactly.
Just do it normally. What is that?
That's got to be demon vacuuming.
What the hell?
Yeah,
What kind of a noise is it?
it was like a sucking
It's,
noise. I just thought it was you.
Well, I couldn't hear anything, so I assume it was me. Is it still
No, I
happening?
think it's good. I
No,
think it was
it's
just a
not.
weird, like a weird connection with your cables.
Oh, it might have just been when I unmuted. Might have
No.
done something, maybe.
So, yes, generally we're used to the sound of you sucking, Demon, but it was
Ooh.
particularly intense and noisy this particular occasion. Oh, come on. I'm sure there are jokes in there somewhere. I can't think of one, so we're going to give you a pass. Yeah.
PhD Tony with the referential humor.
At least I had the courage. At least I had the courage to actually make a joke, and
Oh no, Tony! I had the courage. I just couldn't pick one. I couldn't pick the joke. There was so many jokes. There was I guess that's why there are no women at your apartment. I guess that's why there are no. I mean, there's so many jokes. I couldn't pick one.
No, the fact that I'm disgustingly hideous, old, and fat is why there are no women in the house. I mean,
Oh please! I already got you beat on all three of those fronts.
Yep.
Well, he's clearly doing something right because Mrs. Demon is a stunner. So
Drugs.
What?
Drugs. That's what he's doing. He's
well, whatever it is, it's working for him. So
Stockholm syndrome will do that.
It was a long time coming,
Yep.
as the actress said to the bishop.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Oh man.
I made biltong the other day. I make jerky every week. I make like 2
You
or 3
make
kgs
jerky.
of jerky.
You
I
make
don't
jerky.
want to know how much you make the jerky.
You make jerky 2 or 3 times a day. Don't fucking lie.
Yep. Oh, hold on. I feel like there's a joke there.
Yeah, your penis.
yeah, you were telling us about your adventures with Bill's dong.
There you go.
Yeah. So myself and Bill, I made this. This one's too salty. I realize now. I tried it different. Fucking hell, Jail. You absolute miscreant.
Bill, your dong is just too salty.
Yeah. I'm gonna need you to try some wheatgrass or something, but this is not working out.
Some pineapple.
This is all the things you could have said. This is just too salty.
I mean, we're literally right in the middle of making fun of you, putting people's dongs in your mouth, and then the very next thing that comes out of your mouth, outside of semen, is that it's too salty.
Yes.
Hey, it is what it is, man. I can't change it now. It's fucking good jerky, though. All shit aside, right? So I bought this slab of meat.
I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking shovel, Demon! You are.
What did I say this time? Jesus, you people are disgusting. You know that? I thought I was bad. I thought I was fucking bad. Oh my god. But anyway, sorry, all jokes aside. It's just a meat raisin when you think about it, right?
Tell Bill he needs more water in his diet.
This shit looks like a snapping turtle.
What the fuck?
It's just like, did you pause even for a moment before you introduced the term meat raisin into this conversation?
No, because I'm not a fucking degenerate. Like,
the bullshit.
I'm not a degenerate. I'm a good Catholic boy, like jail.
You can't save yourself from this one, my friend.
You just need to go silent for a little while, Demon.
The thing is, the nuts are pretty salty too.
Wait, that
One was on purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Mr. Sherlock Holmes over here.
Oh.
Good shit, though.
Uh-oh. There's a whining puppers. I hear a whining puppers.
Oh, God.
Jingles. Was it hello? What did you say hello?
My dog would kick your dog's ass.
Shit. That's probably true.
No.
That's probably
No.
true. That's probably true, JL. You know how.
Have you ever seen a pissed off Chihuahua?
Yeah.
I live in fucking Texas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not for long. It turns out they go a long way if you kick them right.
Oh my god.
Boot.
Oh man, I don't know. Them fucking things are quick enough to latch onto your ankle as you try and kick them, though.
My female one, she is a dodgy little fucker, man. Like she gets herself into so much trouble, and like because they're tiny. Like she is really like even as Chihuahuas goes, she's tiny, but she thinks she's a Rottweiler. Like, we'll be out walking and she'll see a dog and she'll growl at it. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Are you that stupid? Like, do you see how big that dog would fuck me up? Like, not to mention you.
This guy.
We had a.
Oh, look at his little face. He's so sweet.
Just the.
So is that one of the dogs that you stole, JL?
We call it rescuing down here.
Oh, rescuing at fucking gunpoint. I'm rescuing your dog, bitch.
So the key thing to remember is that in the state of Texas, dog possession is considered dogs are considered property, and the possession of the property of the person who is currently possessing them. So if your dog gets out and I come and pick it up, regardless of how much time has passed, I am currently the owner of that animal. And the reason the law is like this is because if your dog gets out and then I take the dog and then I allow the dog to, or something happens and the dog bites somebody and hurts them, you cannot be held liable because I was in possession of the dog and I should have been in control of the animal while I possessed it. So it was to protect people.
So is that kind of like if you were just to spitball here, if you were walking down the street and you found somebody's pistol on the ground, it'd be like you picking it up and going, well, not my problem, and then throwing it away and somebody ends up shooting somebody. Kind of similar, I guess.
Well, if I find somebody's pistol on the ground and then I pick it up and then I use it in a crime and then I ditch it, because even though it was your pistol, you can be charged for losing it or for negligence, but I'm still culpable for the crime.
If you don't properly report it stolen or lost. So if somebody steals or you lose your firearm, as soon you immediately hey, it is outside of my possession, unbeknownst to me, someone stole it. Right? Report it stolen. You're clear. You're free and clear.
Yeah, Texas is a particularly conservative state, and there are very strict laws over touching other people's pistols.
Especially when it's a man.
Unlike in Western Australia.
Huh?
Different story here, man.
They play with people's jerky.
Absolutely, all day long.
But the dogs were in poor shape. They were really, really sick, and they had no identification, no collars, no tags, no chips, no nothing. And Shotzi was so small. She was 3 months. She was only 3 months old, and they were running around in traffic. I didn't want these beautiful dogs to get hit by a car, so I asked my wife to come get them. We tried to find the owner. Later, someone else found the owner, and we found out the owner was a complete and total fucking asshole. So I'm glad that they're with me. Now they have all the toys they want. They have all the the milk bones they want. They have all the walk time and play time and a giant backyard they can run around in.
They have all the jails balls they want.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Those dogs eat better than I do. I swear. So
yes, well, I'm glad that they're happy, because nothing, I really can't understand people who don't feel sympathy for suffering animals.
No, I don't get it either. Like it scares me that like a big thing that was common in Ireland, still is to some extent among a certain community, was stealing people's small dogs, chihuahuas, terriers, that kind of thing, to use for baiting, for dog fighting.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time when I'm sitting there with my dogs. Like Minnie's an introvert. She doesn't really she likes to just have her own space. But Floki just wants to be on your lap, snuggling you. He's the most cuddly dog ever. And I look at his little face and I think, can you imagine that somebody would, in a heartbeat back home, would take him and throw him to a bigger dog just for sport? And that happens. That happens all the time to people that I know. Like in Ireland, a very common thing. And I'm not trying to put anybody down, but it is a certain group of people that do it, where if you're out walking your dog, you have to be very careful if you've got a little dog, because they will follow you home to steal that dog for breeding. Or for baiting. And I've had it anytime, because I always had chihuahuas, where they'd be like, oh, is that dog neutered? And you go, yeah. And they go, oh, okay. And they walk off. And it's like, so you always tell them that the dog's neutered, even if it's not. And you're supposed to put a little red band on their neck to say that they're neutered, and people tend to leave you alone then. But sadly, it is a very fucking common thing. It's not as bad nowadays. People are more careful, but yeah, it used to happen a lot. Kevin says that happens in the UK still a lot. And he knows what I'm talking about. It's very common, unfortunately. And it's sad, man. These little helpless dogs just being destroyed, and cats as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that lifted the tone of the conversation.
Sure
quite
did.
A bit.
My
well,
goodness.
I would say that as far as fixing them, but Shotzi is fixed. We got her fixed before her first season. Because as it turns out, Jingles is full-blood German Shepherd, but Shotzi, unfortunately, is half Shepherd, half Pit, or half Shepherd, half Staffordshire. That's why her body is built the way it is. She's got the widespread front legs and just the all shoulders and upper body, but the head of a German Shepherd. She's got the head and the coat of a German Shepherd, and the rest of her body is all Pit. So she's just, I feel so bad for her. She's just built bad, but a lovable dog, super super awesome. We got her fixed before her first season because we wanted to reduce the chances of breast cancer and various other issues. But Jingles is intact, and that is because I prefer him that way because it helps to maintain his kind of alertness and his awareness, because he's more protective of the home, and he knows to do his job. He's already chased off one person who tried to gain access to our house. So the dog is badass. So,
yeah, it's always good having those types of dogs that will chase people away from your house.
Chihuahua will do that,
not in Texas.
So Chihuahuas are good. Like small dogs are good for alarm. Big dogs.
My two are awesome. Like we've had a few people go in our backyard or go out my car, and those two go ape shit, man.
Yeah,
and it's good because they've got a loud, shrill bark, and it does freak people out because they kind of go shit. You can't miss that. And every time Minnie, the ears pop up, she starts barking. Then Floki, because he's not the most alert dog in the world, but once she starts, he'll start. And then I wake up and I go out with literally a sword, and people tend to run away very quickly when they are confronted with a big, fat, naked Irishman with a sword and two angry chihuahuas. It tends to do the job.
Don't you mean a Dirk?
But that's how you people went. Yeah. That's how you people went into battle, wasn't it?
Damn right.
Oh.
The Gales went into battle with nothing more than a hard penis, and that's
why they lost.
Yeah, that's why we lost. You can scare a big motherfucker with a little penis, that's for sure. But yeah, the Celts used to paint their bodies and run into battle naked, with just their swords and beards. That's about it.
Yeah.
Which is strange because Ireland's quite a cold country, so it's like.
So I'm saying, I think that would be like a detriment. I wouldn't want to be in Ireland without anything less than a parka.
Oh yeah, I mean it gets cold as shit there too. Like, and to people who live in Canada and Alaska are probably laughing at me now talking about Ireland being cold, but yeah, man, that cold rain on your willy, not fun.
Not to mention it's kind of windy. Yes, in some of the lower. Well, I'm thinking of Scotland. Never mind.
It's the same in Ireland.
Yeah.
It's windy as fuck. Yeah, like I mean, there's a kind of an old thing in Ireland. It's like never piss into the prevailing wind, because yeah, I've done that. It's not a good idea.
A lot of peaks and valleys, huh?
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Ireland, the biggest problem for us isn't necessarily that the weather's bad. It's just that it's unpredictable. So like, one of the biggest killers for us is I come from a horse racing family. So horse racing is obviously a huge part of our culture and has been forever. And like, you want to go racing on a Sunday and it's supposed to be a nice, sunny day. And then it pisses rain all day Saturday. And it might still be a sunny day on Sunday, but then you can't race because the ground's too soft and horses get injured if the ground's too soft. And it's like, that's the most depressing thing about the weather in Ireland. You get used to the rain. That's just part of life there. But yeah, it's that kind of like, let's do something nice at the weekend. And then you wake up and it's like, why is there no sun coming through the windows? And then it's pissing rain and it's like, So yeah, that's the downside of it. But other than that, I can't wait to bring you guys to Ireland. You guys are going to fucking love it. It's going to be wicked.
Sounds like a lot of fun to me. Well, it's about that time. It's about that time, gentlemen. It's about that time.
Bedtime.
Bedtime for you, and I guess mass time for JL. And
oh shit!
You got a morning mass and afternoon mass, right, JL?
No, I don't.
Just Saturday night midnight mass. He's the altar boy.
Oh,
he's the world's creepiest altar boy.
The world's creepiest altar boy.
With his little bell, it's just ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
I'm somewhat mystified by the suggestion that not only is JL a Christian, but he's also Catholic. Because
what else would he be?
Saying, well,
it's the only right. It's the only right type.
If you're gonna go, you might as well go all the way.
Go all the way. Yeah. Go full Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Fucking full on Catholic.
So you guys do realize that as far as the Orthodox Church is concerned, the Catholics are heretics, right?
Oh yeah. Yes. Saint worship and shit like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there are a variety of
there are many infractions.
Yes, a variety of heresies that the Catholic Church is guilty of. From the and indeed they did change the wording of the Nicene Creed and a bunch of other stuff. I was about
you
to
were there, right?
No,
Tony's the one who wrote it down.
I was busy. I was doing other stuff. They didn't ask me. I could have sorted it out
in the Middle East.
Tony was balls deep in a couple of Middle Eastern princesses. That's what's going on.
He was leading a Viking raid on the eastern shores of
England. Great. Now all the Man of War covers in my head. Now I'll have Tony's face on them.
Oh, man.
Oh, dear.
All right, anyway, so what do we got coming up? I know Irish Demon's got some weird thing, bullshit, 4,000, 5 million, whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares Irish. So, Tony, what do you got coming up?
So, I have, I have completed, my first video about the age of the Earth and examining the historical evidence.
6,000 years, right?
And it's first hand because he was there.
Turns out that no, it's not 6,000 years old. It's older than that. But Also, I've got a couple of collaborations coming up. I'll be doing some gaming and some talking with Jessica G. Soma on her channel. So we should. The idea, I think, there is to get to sort of a live streaming thing, but in the first instance, it's probably going to be pre-recorded.
Awesome! I look forward to that. I like watching Jessica G on her gaming streams. She dies a little bit, some of the weirdest ways, but then she gets like this weird kick out of murdering everybody.
Well, I think as soon as Clive Wells comes in and says giant hairy rock monster lives matter, this doesn't actually this sort of puts a target on them.
Exactly.
He might be better off avoiding that sort of statement.
JL, what do you got coming up?
Oh, I'm currently working on my 4-part series about Christianity being a cult. That was taking me some time because there's a lot of stuff to go through and a lot of videos that I have to source, but hopefully it will be as good, if not better, than my Darth Dawkins video, which is still my #1 video and still like cranking it out. Darth Dawkins himself cannot get enough of it because he messaged me the other day. Or actually, he didn't message me. He called me out in a Discord channel, like public in front of everybody, and demanded I make a public apology about it. And whatever, blah, 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 blah. But nonetheless, so it's still getting traction, which is pretty cool. Check that out if you haven't done it. Week in Horror. Some people may have noticed we have some aesthetic changes coming along with the podcast. We've altered up our thumbnails, and we're going to be altering up some things just to make it more visually attractive, make something a little bit different for people to look at. I think that's going to work out for us. Of course, we have our shows Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time on our YouTube channel, so feel free. I hope to see you there. We give away cool stuff. Gavlar the Hanazad won DVD copies of every movie we talked about in the last episode, so we have cool stuff like that. Other than that, that's pretty much it. There's some cool stuff coming down the pipe that I can't spoil, and a couple things that I can't talk about yet.
Michael Bay may or may not be on an episode of The Week in Horror. That's all I'm saying.
Who?
No,
Michael. Michael. Well, you can't say no. That statement is true.
Yeah, exactly.
He may or may not.
This is true.
Law of excluded middle. What Johnny said, is definitely true.
Yep.
So, but there's some things coming up.
But leave it for J.L. Warren to shit all over it.
Some things I don't want to spoil. Some things I
Golly.
don't want to spoil. Some things I can't talk about just yet. Hopefully there will be some big announcements by this summer. But things are looking very, very up for the Week in Horror podcast. And awesome. I have every person in this live chat, every person who stopped by and said hi, who's listened to us, who's checked us out. It's all because of you guys. I couldn't, the show that I have could not be anything without everybody in that chat, especially with the three of you, with Irish, Tony, Johnny, all the help that you give us on the show. Irish for wearing the Week in Horror shirt. I saw you wearing it the other day. I really appreciate that.
I always wear it. It's my favorite shirt. It is literally my favorite shirt. So
I love that. And Tony, so we got some cool things coming out. No, I'm just flying. What do you do? Tony's been so supportive and so amazing and interacting with people in the Discord channel and, shilling out the show for us. So it's been amazing. So you three guys has been instrumental to the success of my show as everybody else has. So I couldn't do it without any of you. But we got some cool things coming. So hopefully I'll be able to break those news and kind of surprise people with what we've got coming up. Other than that, I'm going to finish my Christianity series, my 4-part series. And I got a couple other videos in the works, but I got some stuff I got to get to. You, Irish, I think you needed a video from us.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I'll put that out to the chat as well. I'm just putting... So at the start of my most recent videos, you will have heard the NASA chatbot announcement lady. That is indeed Mrs. Demon. She works for NASA now. And so she is asking for people to send a short video saying something like, "Hello, lads and lassies. I am a NASA chatbot." Because, I just want to do like a thing where I show all of the NASA chatbots in a couple of videos. So if anybody wants to get involved, you can send it to irishdemon@gmail.com or Discord.
that specific line.
Yeah, something along those lines. You can add whatever you like to it. Just play with it. Do whatever you want. If you don't want to have your face on there, if you want to have a mask or something on, or whatever the case may be, I would recommend that for JL. Then by all means, you can definitely go for that. Because if JL has his actual face on, I'll get demonetized. But yeah, I want to get together maybe 20. I've got about 5 or 6 already, so. As many chatbots as I can get to send in a little chatbot clip. That'd be awesome. It'd be wicked.
And I've got to get something for Johnny, which I will take care of now that I'm here and set and ready to go. Other than that, that's pretty much it. And waiting to see if anything happens with the Daniel Pratt saga.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're not going to talk about that one right now. No, that's another hour show.
So I just want to quickly put in, perhaps we could send some videos of some cakes saying that they're NASA chatbots. That might be.
I'd be down for that.
That would be amazing.
I never say no to a good cake.
Okay.
I'm very selective though. You know what? Of all the cakes that I've tried, and there are many, I still can't get beyond a nice Victoria sponge. Just simple and delicious. But anyway. I digress.
So I'm over here getting whipped at rock, paper, scissors.
I've never won that.
Yep, me either, apparently.
Hey, quick question. Would y'all be interested in doing a live stream of Trivial Pursuit Horror Edition?
Fuck yeah. But I will lose it. 100% lose it.
So I was sitting here thinking... Go ahead, Tony.
Well, it will destroy my reputation.
Well, see, I was thinking about it. I was like, how can we do it? I was like, well, you know what? If we got enough players, we got the players together, and then one person can literally be controlling the board, and I would just do all the person would just do all the movements for everybody. But in essence,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. So one person would just be handling the board, everybody else pretty much just answer the questions and do that game. I don't know if that'd be something that people would be interested in seeing.
Fuck yeah. I'd be down for that.
But I was seriously thinking about that.
If I get 3 right, I win. I think that's fair. If I get 10% of the answers right, I automatically win. I think that's a really fair way of doing it.
I was thinking about it because one of the things we have coming for Weekend Horror is our Digital Darkness. Jessica G has done some amazing work with that, and Alex will be streaming. We're going to dedicate it to Friday nights. Saturday nights. And then Weekend Horror will do a live stream of a game. And typically it's going to be Alex live streaming whatever he's found on his Steam account or on the PlayStation Network or on Xbox Live. So he'll be picking a particular horror game and he'll be live streaming that. That will be a part of Weekend Horror's Digital Darkness. So that's something cool that we're doing. I was like, well, what about board games? Because there's Arkham Asylum, there's Touch of Evil, there's all kinds of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I've got the Trivial Pursuit game here. What if I just put the camera there, controlled all the pieces, and other people played? And that would be a cool live stream. And then people in the chat could maybe help with answers like that if someone doesn't know. And then I think it would be neat. I think it'd be a cool interactive experience. I don't know. I'm spitballing.
Yeah, it'd work for me.
Irish, you're such a dick.
I know, right?
All right.
I couldn't contain myself. But yeah.
I got somebody else who wants to say a quick goodbye.
Give you some jerky to chew on.
Bye.
Bye, Munchkin.
Bye.
Irish, yes, we know you're rapidly getting to 5,000.
I'm nearly there.
I had a goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Fuck, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I know we're only 3 months.
I think you'll make it.
We'll see what happens. Man, my goodness,
yeah.
you were got a fucking rocket up your ass with all this stuff though. It's really awesome.
How about you send some over our way?
I intend to.
He's gonna collect them all first, and then he's gonna pick out the ones he doesn't want.
Yeah, I'm gonna collect them all first, and then I'll be like, "Who? The beards? What?" Sorry,
yeah, it's hard for all the subs to come over and join us when they're all fucking paid for.
Exactly. Yeah, low blow, motherfucker.
So
seriously,
just to clarify, are you going to have a 5,000 sub special?
I
and
thought
then,
about it.
and then lie about not having it like you did with
I
your
would
4,000
recommend.
sub.
I would
Or-
suggest everybody to
or
go
you-
back and watch that video, and you will see clearly. I think maybe
Well,
I didn't. Who gives a shit?
I think until you prove that you didn't buy all those fucking subs, that you're in the same boat as me as far as me proving that I don't believe in shit I don't fucking believe in.
Okay, JL Thompson.
All right, here's the deal.
Eat
This
that.
was
You gonna
me.
compare me to that motherfucker?
God,
Come on.
Hey, look,
damn.
you asked for it. You asked for it, JL Dawkins.
Oh,
Hey, I'm a proponent of Richard Dawkins.
I mean
that
the
is
good
not-
Dawkins.
Yeah,
I
but
meant-
we
I
all
meant the
knew.
good
We all knew
Dawkins.
who he meant. We all knew who he meant.
Exactly. Darth
Anyway.
Warren.
This
That's
was
what
my way.
that's what the theists call me.
This was
No
my,
way.
This was
I've
my,
been referred to that by a couple of theists. Yes.
this is my way of giving Irish Demon a second to suck his own dick. So
What the fuck?
you're supposed to shell out your stuff.
Oh, hey, if I could, I would. You'd never see me again.
Never
But
see
yeah. So I've got. I just put up videos whenever. I try to put them out at the same time every day if I can, but I am mindful of other people's. I try my best to not put out premieres during other people's streams and stuff. There are some channels out there that stream a lot, so I just can't, and it's been something I've been trying my best to avoid. But roughly, I try to put them out between 10:30 and 11:30 on most nights, my time, so whatever that is, America time. Obviously, that's going to change when I move to Ireland. Also, I'm going to start doing my vlog channel a bit more. Maybe not so much here in Australia, but definitely when I go back to Ireland, I have massive plans. I have got a channel that I'm going to be appearing on. I don't want to say the name of it just yet, but I'm going to be appearing on a channel, a bigger channel, in a few weeks' time, and so hopefully that'll bring some subs all of our ways, which would be epic.
Is it what culture?
Bring those people to, huh?
Is it what culture?
Who? What now?
Nothing.
He's
Never
not
mind.
getting it. He's not getting
He
it.
doesn't get it.
I don't get that at all. Okay, fine. It's louder with Crowder.
There. Fair. That was gonna be my second one.
But yeah, so that should hopefully bring some new people to the Beardsmen, which would be awesome, because the more the merrier, especially for when COVID's over and we get to do our trips and stuff. It's going to be amazing. That's actually kind of my main goal is the Beardsman trip to Ireland, which is going to be fucking epic. And then there's also myself and the Sarcastic Barman are setting up a conference in the UK. We don't know when yet, obviously, because of COVID. And we've got some big names coming to it, which is epic. And then we're going to try, with the lads' help, to set up a conference in the US. I'm going to be doing a tour of the eastern states of the US with Fohammer. So I'll be vlogging all of that, and then hopefully culminating in a couple of weeks in Texas doing the conference and just being a general international sex god.
Well, I guess
That's the plan.
sounds like
My dogs are having a fight right now.
Let them go at it.
Hey, dogs, shut up.
Let them tear each other up.
No chance. They're too soft.
Oh, that's true. Well, then they won't tear each other up. They'll just fluff each other up.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So me, I've just got the usual stuff. News show comes out as the plot thickens tomorrow.
Oh, go on about it. Why don't you? Jesus. Sorry.
For fuck's sake, Irish!
Hey, you fuckers
I
mocked me. You guys mocked me.
I nearly went into a coma with all the boring shit that you were listening.
Says fucking Rock Boy over here.
And you know,
Oh, I like rocks, blah,
Johnny
blah, blah.
Johnny
Look at my
opens
stones.
his mouth and you take off.
He calls me boring. He's literally a doctor of stones.
No, glaciers.
Glaciers. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Glaciers.
It's not even, it's stones. It's water. God damn it. It's just hard water. Fucking call me boring. Fucking, it's like if the thing was shit and wasn't actually made out of rocks, but just liked them. Anyway.
So I've got as the plot thickens coming out Monday. You'll get all of my takes
Well, was that the wrong character?
Anyway,
the wrong character?
maybe.
Oh, it was the wrong
It
character.
was the wrong
Shit,
character.
never
Yeah.
mind.
I was going to ignore it.
Whoops. who was I talking about?
Nobody knows.
From the Fantastic Four, the Rock. Fucking
Even
guy.
The thing.
even
Yeah, he's right.
even fewer people care.
There you go.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Better,
I was right. Was he made out of rocks?
Yeah, but you should have called him Ben Grimm.
Ben Grimm, yeah.
Yeah.
When you say the thing,
Then played because people would have known that you were talking about that one and not the movie.
yeah.
The Thing that PhD Tony and I have spoken about at length, and is one of his favorite films. So
And
And-
I don't
then
listen to that shit.
I watched the thing, just a couple of days ago. So
And
yeah.
I can see where the
we're
confusion is
trying.
coming
We
Well,
are
hang on.
trying to help
what
you
I'm saying.
improve. We're trying to help
Exactly.
you improve the quality of your jokes.
Right. You
Because
were
right
talking
now-
about.
That's never going to happen.
That's true. This is sadly
You
true.
can't get better than perfect.
Because
anyway,
you-
Johnny O, back to your life story, please.
You have to stop reaching into the stuff that you feed your shrimp to find your jokes.
Wow.
it really does. Yeah, you are stinking up the place. Anyway, Johnny,
Yes. Back to my life story.
It was a cold day in
It was
October
cold.
It was a cold day.
1978.
The moon was full,
1969 in Texas.
and the wolves were howling.
Oh, fucking hell. that was
Jesus
a big fart.
Christ. Yeah, that's what was howling. Anyway, as the plot thickens comes out Monday, you'll get my takes on all the goings on in the community, as well as an unpopular opinion that was submitted by Skydiver Tanner this week. If you want to submit an unpopular opinion for the show, just shoot me an email at the plothole. What is it? Theplothole1@gmail.com. Do that.
Holy fuck, you trust that chair, Irish.
I don't.
I wish I trusted anything as much as you trust that chair.
I would just say this.
Gonna
It was
start-
a lot easier
just
going
gonna
that
start
way than
muting.
it
I'm
is
just
going
gonna-
to be to go this way.
I'm going to start giving them the Nathan Oakley treatment. Do you want my balls in your mouth?
Do you want my balls
Balls
in your mouth? No, that's the last thing I would want in my mouth. Jerky. I'll take jerky in the mouth. I'll take high velocity jerky to the mouth.
I would-
Balls go down, go boom boom.
I would rather
Gas
have,
go down, go boom boom.
I would rather have prickly pear without the pricklies taken out than his
Yeah.
balls in my. Anyway, so yeah, so
give him your nuts and your meat raisin. Yeah.
Wow, holy Jesus Christ! On the air. God damn.
anyway, so yeah,
Remember,
let's,
his shit is like a snapping turtle. It kind of jumps out at you. kind of retracts back in. Just kind of hangs out.
It just looks like Tony without a t-shirt on. We are never going to get finished at this rate. We've got about another hour of Johnny O's bullshit coming.
No, it's not my. I got like 2 minutes of bullshit. It's all your fucking meat raisins and
Well,
salty
it
balls.
feels like an hour. Come on, Jesus Christ.
I mean, if you would
get
shut
on with it.
If you would put the Bill Tong back in your mouth, put Bill's dong back in your mouth.
Look, fine, I'll shut up.
That's impossible.
That is fucking impossible.
No, it's not.
There he goes. There he goes. Anyway, Monday news show, Tuesday live stream, Wednesday maybe another show, and then Friday we've got Dingleberries and Klingons, as well as the podcast, rockmetaltalk.com. I'm done. We're the Beardsmen. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody cheers.
Have a good one. Shut the fuck up,
I'm not allowed to talk.
Irish.